What is the best way to get started in the gym? When you first start going to the gym, everyone tells you the same thing. Just stay in your own world, nobody's watching you and judging you. And I get why people say that, but I think it's actually a bit of a lie. Because you can feel it when you walk into a new environment and you're trying to establish yourself in it. You feel out of place, you feel like people are noticing. Whether that's actually true or not almost doesn't matter, because that feeling is real and it can be enough to stop people from ever coming back to the gym. So instead of pretending that feeling doesn't exist, let's talk about where it actually comes from and, more importantly, how you get past it properly and build the kind of confidence that makes that feeling disappear for good and feel at home and comfortable in the gym. I'm Callum. I've spent the past 20 years training and coaching in some capacity as a professional athlete in rowing and coaching with some of the world's best strength and conditioning coaches, as well as coaching normal people to be fit, strong and athletic, helping close the gap between the methods used for elite sport for normal people without the extreme training schedule and the poor standard of coaching in normal gyms. This video is everything I wish someone had told me or told the people I now coach before they wasted years getting it wrong. Here's the thing about that feeling of judgment, of being out of place. The way out is confidence, and confidence comes from competence. If you don't know what you're doing, you'll feel like an outsider, no matter how many times someone tells you not to worry about it. So the real fix isn't a mindset trick, it's actually knowing what you're doing. Starting in the right place, doing the right things, and feeling that competence build session by session. And this is exactly where most people, and honestly, most trainers, get it wrong. There are two main traps I see people fall into constantly. The first is classes. Classes feel great initially. You're moving with other people, you get some cues on your form, there's a feel-good energy to it, and you probably will see some improvement in the first couple of months, but then it stops. Because there's no structured progression. The workout that challenged you in month 1 is the exact same workout in month 8, so you plateau and often start blaming yourself or your genetics, and say things to yourself like, I'm just not meant to get results. When actually the problem was never you, it was the lack of a system that evolves with you. The second trap is machines, or the treadmill. You get shown a few machines in your gym induction, you're told what weight to start at, and you just stay there. A little too scared to go heavier, not sure how many reps you should actually be doing, so you go through the same motions week after week, get a small amount of improvement, but then it grinds to a halt. Both traps lead to the exact same place. You fall off the wagon, you stop seeing change, and you start telling yourself a story about why you're just not capable of more. That story is wrong, but I understand exactly why people end up believing it. Now, the opposite problem happens too. A lot of young trainers with good intentions will push a complete beginner into exercises they know personally work and personally enjoy, but that's completely wrong for someone brand new. And that person goes home unable to walk for a week. A bit of soreness is good. It tells you that you've actually done something and that you're moving forward. But if every single session leaves you wrecked for a week, that's not motivating. That's a reason to never come back. The goal isn't to demolish someone in week 1. It's to build them up at the right rate so the gym becomes somewhere that improves them, not somewhere that breaks them. So what actually works? It comes down to 6 fundamental movement patterns, the same patterns elite strength coaches use with serious athletes, just scaled to wherever you currently are at. Number 1, a squat. Number 2, a hinge, for example, some deadlift variations, a horizontal push like a press up, horizontal pull like a row, a vertical push for your shoulders, and a vertical pull like a lat pull down, hopefully working toward a chin up. Master the right variation of each of these for your level, and you're hitting almost every major muscle group in your body. You build real strength, your body actually starts to change shape, and you start to feel like you belong in the gym. Not because someone told you to feel that way, but because you can look around and think, I'm actually doing this properly, and that's an earned feeling. And it's a completely different kind of confidence to the one people try to talk themselves into. A lot of people I work with had some version of this experience. Standing on the gym floor at school, a PE teacher telling them to do some press-ups, doing one that wasn't very good and other kids laughing, or just quietly feeling incompetent and never saying anything about it. And without even noticing it happens, I'm not strong becomes part of who you are, not just something you struggle with. And that's a huge part of why some people never even walk into a gym in the first place. But here's what I've watched happen over and over with the clients I coach. Someone goes from a knee press up to a full press up, sometimes in a matter of weeks, and it's not just a fitness milestone, it's an identity shift. Suddenly, I'm not strong isn't true anymore. So how do you actually engineer that shift instead of just hoping it happens? Well, this is where my Elite 4 method comes in. Ones I learned through Elite Sport and now use with everyone I coach. First, exercise selection. Choosing the right variation of each movement for your current level, not the version that's trendy, not the version your friend does, but the one that actually builds you up properly. Number 2 is phasing your training. You train in blocks with a clear time-bound goal, easing in for new lifters, then progressing at a rate that's challenging but doable. So you see consistent week-to-week improvement instead of just guessing. Testing and retesting. You establish a baseline early so you know exactly where you're starting from, then you retest later and see in hard numbers whether the plan actually worked. That's where real motivation comes from, not a feeling, evidence. Number 4, filming your lifts. This one feels uncomfortable for almost everyone at first, but it holds up the mirror to how you're actually moving, not how you think you're moving, and it's the fastest way to fix technique and build a log of progress you can look back on. I wish I'd done this years earlier in my own career. It would have saved me a lot of wasted effort. Put these 4 things into place and you stop guessing, you stop relying on motivation to drag you through each session, you start building a kind of training that compounds, where every session is genuinely building on the last one. The last piece is one people underestimate, and that's being around others who are on the same path. Not necessarily a CrossFit cult style intensity, but the support that comes from training alongside people who understand what it takes to actually keep improving. People who have a bad week sometimes, because everyone does, and instead of spiraling about it, be coached on what to adjust, get back on track, and be held accountable to action these tasks. That's something no app, no AI, no generic plan can give you. Genuine accountability and genuine support from people who actually care how you're doing. If anything in this video sounded familiar, the class that stopped working, the machines you're scared to move on from, I put together a free 14-day Kickstart that walks you through establishing your baseline, picking the right movements for your level, and starting to build the kind of structure that actually compounds. It's completely free, the link's in the description, and if you don't want to miss out on more free information with your training, hit subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.